25 soap spoilers, EastEnders murder shocker, Coronation Street Phelan secret, Emmerdale returns, Hollyoaks hostage. Huge discoveries are about to change lives in the world of soap, not least of all for a stunned Jay Mitchell in EastEnders as Phil drops the bombshell that he killed his dad. Kerry Wyatt is in for a big surprise in Emmerdale when she finds a familiar face on the streets while over in Coronation Street. Mary Taylor shatters her son Jude's world with a revelation about his dad. Other big shocks include a hostage drama for Cleo McQueen and Joel Dexter in Hollyoaks, another unwelcome blow for Walford's Linda Carter, and the potential for Nicola Rubenstein to learn the truth about killer dad Phelan's wicked deeds in Weatherfield. There's yet more drama on top of all of that too as Dylan Keogh makes a huge decision in Casualty. Rhona Goskirk comes face to face with Pierce Harris in the Dales. Shona Ramsey confronts her killer son Clayton in Corrie and Mandy. Richardson faces losing Ella for good in Hollyoaks. Here we round up the most in-depth selection of spoilers on the web. Coronation Street. 1. Phelan is a man on the edge and both Eileen and Nicola are wondering what is going on with him as he comes home sporting yet another nasty injury. When Nicola decides to follow him, will she discover the truth about what he is hiding? 2. Shona's delight at winning a lump sum on a scratch card is short-lived when McQueen approaches and insists she visits a suicidal Clayton, who wants her to use the cash to fund an appeal. But what decision will she make? 3. It's the day of Mary and Norris' wedding and Mary's son Jude arrives with his family to celebrate the day, but will the sham go ahead? Later, Jude's suspicious wife Angie wants answers, and when Mary confides that Jude's further raped her, he overhears everything. 4. Chesney tries to hide his growing agoraphobia by taking Hope and Ruby on a day out, but when he has a panic attack and abandons them on the bus, he feels too ashamed to return home. Will the kids be safe and can Chesney be tracked down? 5. David hits the roof when he learns that Shona has been to visit Clayton, and Shona insists that they sort things out once and for all. After a tense showdown, they admit their feelings for each other and decide to give a relationship a chance. 6. Will continues to make moves on Michelle after she and Robert arrive home, but as he takes a step too far and asks probing questions about Robert, will she finally suss him out? EastEnders. 7. Jay's world is turned upside down when Phil makes the confession that he killed his dad, and Jay is left reeling from what he has learned. As Ben discovers what has gone on, he is shocked when Jay declares that he is no longer a Mitchell. 8. It's another tense week at the Vic as Faye and Linda continue to clash over the running of the pub, but when Shirley makes a scene, has Linda's cause been undermined? Later, at Ladies' Night, Linda's marriage to Mick suffers another blow when a revelation unfolds. 9. It's the day of the GCSE results, and when Bex is left feeling disheartened, Sonia suggests that Mr. Price gives her private lessons. Can Mr. Price lift the teen's spirits over her music result? And will Denise get the news she is hoping for too? 10. Michelle is surprised when Tom turns up out of the blue and apologizes for not being in touch, and before long, the pair are back on track, and sharing a public kiss in the Vic. But what is Tom truly after? 11. Ted and Joyce are horrified to return home and discover that they have been burgled, and Ted instantly jumps to conclusions and calls the police on the Taylors. Furious by this assumption, Keanu angrily confronts the pensioner. 12. Honey, Jack, Ingrid and the kids all go camping, but Jack isn't in the mood and is dismissive of his nanny. When she discovers that he is missing Ronnie, she reaches out to him and convinces Jack to make the most of the trip. Emmerdale. 13. After Harriet has a word of warning for Paddy about how well Rhona is coping, he tries to be there for her, and when they share dinner, they grow close again. After Rhona moves in for a kiss, Paddy makes his feelings for her clear. 14. Aaron heads to the gym with Adam and Victoria and is unsettled to see Jason training there, especially as he is making moves on Victoria. As the two men square up to one another, is a violent clash imminent? 15. Kerry is shocked to see a familiar face living rough when she heads out shopping, and even more dismayed by Dan's reaction when she wants to take the person in. But when she admits that she used to be homeless herself, will his attitude change? 16. After having visions of Pierce, Rhona heads to the prison to visit him and get closure. As she comes face to face with a bedraggled-looking Pierce, is he finally ready to show remorse for his deplorable crime? 17. Nell wants to keep her birthday a secret, but when Bob lets the cat out of the bag, J.I. is keen to surprise her. But when Nell notices his furtive behavior, she gets it into her head that he might be about to propose. Is she in for a disappointment? 18. Charity and Megan are in for some close shaves when Frank discovers that something is wrong with the villas abroad and Charity has to pose as a solicitor to throw him off the scent. But when Megan learns of Frank's wedding plans, she is thrown. Hollyoaks. 19. Shane discovers that Joel is plotting with Darren to bring him down and so kidnaps him and Cleo and locks them in an engine room together. Will the pair be able to escape, and will their ordeal bring them closer? 20. As Mandy despairs over the prospect of losing Ella to social services, Tony steps up to help, but Luke could sabotage everything as he causes a scene in front of the social worker. As things get desperate, Mandy is forced to make a big decision. 21. Yasmin wants to get the lowdown from Cindy on her stalking ordeal for an article in the school newspaper and puts pressure on her, but Cindy is about to face new horror. Is her nightmare about to kick off again? 22. When Farrah turns up at a night organized by Scott, and sabotaged by Brody, she realizes that he hasn't told Damon the truth about them being brothers and advises him to do it now. Will he follow her guidance? Casualty. 23. It's the second of a two-part episode which sees several members of the team at a French refugee camp, and the trip is proving to be eye-opening and emotional for them as the plight truly hits home. 24. Jez finds himself targeted when a petrol bomb is thrown through his window and the resulting blaze leaves Robin and young Charlotte in serious peril. Can they be saved, or will the trip have a tragic end? 25. Dylan's frustrations over finding himself unable to help those in desperate need reach boiling point, and he makes a drastic decision, one that he could soon regret. What's next? Who faces losing everything as a sly adversary sets them up for a devastating fall that could destroy their life forever? And who might come to the person's aid? Which jailed killer gets in touch with their family? And could they be set to make a return to their respective soap? Who is involved in a car crash that could have serious consequences, and not just for them either? Who returns after an absence and causes terror by trying to kidnap someone else? And will they get away with it? Who has shock baby news for their partner? And will the revelation go down well or come as a nasty blow?